Hello and welcome to the Startup Show, brought to you by Inc. Authority. I'm your host, Trevor Rowley. Did you know that Inc. Authority's been named to the Inc. 5000 list for the second year in a row? Those are America's fastest growing companies. Inc. Authority's proud to join that list. Hey, today on our program, we're going to bring you some information about EIN numbers, employer identification numbers. It's something that I know is really important to most startup business owners. They're anxious to get their EIN and to get things rolling. And we have a very special guest to join us to tell us all about it today. We want to welcome to the program Ty Robertson, who's a startup coach at Inc. Authority. Hello, Ty.
Hey, Trevor. Thanks for having me on the show. Really appreciate it.
You know, you're a bit of a living legend around here. Inc. Authority, in addition to being on the Inc. 5000 list, has over 15,000 reviews on Trustpilot, and I know that you're named in a lot of them. And people just speak really, really highly of you and of the work that you do. Tell us a little bit about what that work is. What do you do as a startup coach?
Well, as a startup coach here at Inc. Authority, Trevor, my job is to contact our clients who have visited the website, made a purchase on incauthority.com. I contact the clients, verify their company's information to ensure their LLC or corporation is structured correctly. Also go over proper structuring of the business related to documentation, websites, EIN numbers, and everything related to the proper formation of an LLC or corporation.
Yeah, I think that's really cool because it's an extra step, and I don't think other companies in this industry do that. Somebody's gone online, they've Google searched maybe, how do I set up a corporation? How do I set up an LLC? They're probably finding a lot of different companies willing to do the work. They land on Inc. Authority, they go through the process, they create their LLC, and then they have somebody like you who calls them after the fact to verify all of the information, right? Because legal documents are going to be created to start this LLC, to start this corporation, and we want to make sure everything is done exactly correct. So you're the first person to talk to them to say, hey, let me review this. Thanks for your order. Let's make sure we've got everything exactly right. I think it's a real high value add that Inc. Authority brings that other people might not necessarily take the time to do. So thank you for all of that.
Absolutely accurate, Trevor. I truly believe our support and service, the personal touch we put with all of our clients, is truly what completely sets us apart from the competition. As far as I'm aware, no other company in the industry does what we do related to the personal touch and personal connection we have with our clients, and that's truly what sets us apart.
And I think that's why you always deliver the wow to the customers that you're speaking with. That's why they leave you so many reviews, is they love to have somebody who's there to guide them, to hold their hand through the process, because for a lot of these business owners, it's their first time going through this process.
It is, and it can be a complex and very confusing process to a lot of people at first. And so I've come up with verbiage and terms to explain the legal aspects to them in layman's terms, to really get everyone to wrap their brain around exactly what's needed for a proper LLC or proper corporation. And I think the personal touch I do with the clients is what's allowed me to get all the reviews. And thank you for mentioning that. I truly appreciate it. And thank you to all the clients out there who've left me reviews. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
So the topic today is employer identification numbers, EIN numbers, sometimes called taxpayer identification numbers. And I can tell you from my experience in talking to startup business owners that oftentimes they're more concerned about getting this EIN number than they are about getting their actual corporation or their LLC set up. Now, that's a little bit about putting the cart before the horse, as they say, because you need to get the corporation, the LLC first before you get that EIN, but they're excited to get the EIN. So let's start with the very most basic question, which is, what is an EIN number?
Great question, Trevor. So EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. Long story short, it is the social security number for a business. You and I have a tax ID number. It's our social security number. The LLC or corporation will have a tax ID number as well. That's the EIN. It's a critical component for any LLC or corporation. You have to have one for your business.
Yeah. So having that EIN number allows me to do what kind of things?
Oh, almost anything you can do with a social security number. You can open up a business bank account, you can get business credit cards, credit lines, loans, funding, and these things are virtually impossible to get without a tax ID number. Without your EIN, you can't access funding, loans, grants, credit for your business. It's all not available without the EIN. It's a very big deal.
So, whether we like it or not, we're all tracked by a number, right?
Amen.
And on a personal level, it's our social security number. And, our credit is based on what happens and what gets reported to our social security number. Off of that credit report, things like our insurance rates and a lot of other things are calculated. We go to the bank to get a personal bank account set up. We got to have our social security number. And that pattern exists also for businesses, but instead of a social security number, we're using this EIN number that's assigned, which is the equivalent on a business level for individuals to use for their business, right?
Yep.
And so,
Absolutely.
do you want to build credit for your business? Do you want to get a bank account set up for your business? You got to have an EIN number. And I know everybody wants to get a bank account set up for their business. It's one of the absolute most fundamental things. It's one of the reasons why people are so excited to get their EIN is like, I want to go to the bank and I want to get this account open. I want to start making deposits. And so EIN is absolutely critical. So if it's that important, what's the process? What does it look like? Where do I go get one? How do I go get it? What does that look like?
Right? Great questions. Now, EIN numbers are acquired from the IRS. It's a rather confusing process if you've never gone through it before. A mistake on an EIN application can render the number unusable. You can't link it to the business if it's not done essentially perfectly and correct. Now, fortunately, Inc. Authority, we've been doing this for many, many years. We have many experts here on staff that can help acquire an EIN number very smoothly. They've done this process literally thousands of times. They very, very rarely make mistakes, and they get the EIN numbers very quickly and timely for our clients. It saves people a lot of trouble and a lot of headache. I mean, who wants to deal with the IRS, right? Yeah. Rhetorical question. Nobody wants to deal with the IRS, which is why we're happy to do it for you. It's part of the service we provide here at Inc. Authorities. We get those tax ID numbers, those EINs, for our clients quickly and efficiently. They don't have to deal with the IRS. We deal with them for you.
Yeah, super high value add again.
Amen.
I don't want to call up the IRS and go through, Q&A with them to get the EIN. So I'm glad that there's somebody like Inc. Authority who's going to walk us through the process. Now, as I understand it, part of that application process to get an EIN, they're going to ask you a number of things. Obviously, they need to know the name of the business, right?
Yep.
And they also want to know the incorporation date of that business, which is why, again, you want to wait until after you've set up that corporation, after you've set up that LLC to file for that number, because you need that date. But they're going to ask for other pieces of information, and this is sometimes where people get stumped when they're contacting the IRS directly. It's like, who is the responsible party? And they're like, well, what does that mean? What do you mean responsible party? Then they want the social security number of that responsible party and so on and so forth. And how do you want to be treated for taxes going forward? That's one that stumps people all the time. Well, what are my choices and what does that mean when I make a selection? All of those things are part of this process of getting the EIN. So as you said, and as you said so well, it can be a little bit confusing, particularly for somebody who's not been through that before. Oh. So to have somebody that they can rely on to kind of guide them through the process and actually go and then acquire that EIN on behalf of the individual, really, really important and valuable.
It is a huge deal, and I've dealt with many, many clients during my tenure here at Inc. Authority who have tried to get an EIN on their own many times unsuccessfully, or acquired an EIN but didn't structure it correctly and was unable to link it to their business. Yeah. We never have that problem here at Inc. Authority. We're always able to get our clients a tax ID number, usually very quickly and always accurately, and linked to their specific company. They can set up their bank account, develop business credit, do almost anything that you and I can do with a social security number after we get that EIN for them.
Yeah. So Inc. Authority saving a customer a ton of time.
Oh God, a ton of time.
Headaches.
Yes. Oh my gosh, who wants to deal with the IRS again? Nobody.
And then it's simply letting them know, hey, here's your EIN number. And then I think that one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is that Inc. Authority can then help the person get the bank account also. So you get the EIN, that natural next step is let's get a bank account set up. And we've done a program on that, but it's as simple as working with one of our private banking specialists to help put you in touch with the bank, help you get the bank account get set up without you ever actually having to step foot in the bank. Super high value add, and that's not possible if you don't get the EIN first.
Absolutely, and our clients love that part of our service. We essentially make this a hands-free business formation for our clients. They fill out some very simple stuff on the internet. We take care of pretty much everything else. I like to say it's virtually hands-free, and all the 5-star reviews do not come by accident. We provide a very high level of support and service around here, and the ability to set up the bank account without walking into a bank, I mean, gosh, that's a no-brainer. Who wouldn't love that, Yeah. And getting a tax ID number without dealing with the IRS, without dealing with the complex paperwork like you were mentioning. Who's the responsible party? What type of business is this? How do you want your taxes to be filed? What's the tax election? This is very confusing for a lot of people not involved in this industry. We eliminate all the confusion. We clear up the murky waters. We get you set up correctly and completely. We're a one-stop shop.
Man, that just sounds like so much help, and for business owners all around the country that are doing this, particularly for the first time, to have a company like Inc. Authority and a coach like you that they can talk to and guide them through the process, super, super valuable. Now, I know that a question that comes up oftentimes, it comes from people who maybe they did get the cart before the horse. They didn't know they were doing it, right?
Happens a lot.
Maybe they've operated as a sole proprietorship before they decided to take the plunge and actually incorporate their business. So perhaps they've gone and they've acquired an EIN already. Now, can they use that same EIN once they get the corporation or the LLC set up?
Typically, the answer is going to be a no on that. You're going to need a new EIN number specific to your business, your new LLC or your new corporation. If you had the company already going as like a sole proprietorship or DBA with the exact same name, it is conceivable to convert the EIN to your LLC or corporation. But if we're speaking frankly here, it's a rather tooth-pulling process. It's going to be probably a 2+ hour phone call to the IRS, bunch of questions to answer, bunch of hoops to jump through, rather complicated. 99% of the time, your best bet is to get a brand new tax ID, brand new EIN for your brand new company, your LLC or corporation. That's the simplest, most efficient way to do it.
Yeah. What about those who might say, well, I'm going to set up this business, but I'm just going to use my social security number rather than get an EIN? What would you say to that kind of a person that would want to do that?
I immediately say, oh my gosh, do not do that. That defeats the entire purpose of having the LLC or corporation. A big part of this is we want the legal separation between you, the client, and the business itself. That way any liability or litigation falls on the company instead of on the client. Having your social security number linked to your business, that completely defeats the purpose. Now anything related to this company would fall on your social and negatively impact you, your credit, and everything about you personally. We do not want that. We want everything about the business to only impact the business and be on the company and not on you. So we have to get that tax ID number that identifies the company separate from you, that EIN. It is a must-have item. We cannot set up an LLC or corporation with a social security number linked to it. That's just a no-no.
Yeah. You know, it seems like we come back to that topic again and again and again, that legal separation topic, right? It's the reason why people set up a corporation or an LLC to begin with, is to create a separate legal person in the eyes of the law that can transact business and enter into contracts and sue and be sued, similar to what could happen to me and you, but it's separate from me and you, right? And
Yep.
taking advantage of the law to have that. And then, you know, that principle applies as you've just described so well when it comes to your EIN. You know, why use your social security number in lieu of an EIN? And it's true, to apply for an EIN, somebody's going to have to provide their social security number as the responsible party. But the activity of that corporation or that LLC, once that EIN is acquired, does not go back and is not reported back to that social security number. That's just somebody that they need to contact if they need to contact somebody who is responsible for that company. But set up that EIN number, have it separate and apart from your social security number. You know, credit, for example. I know people are always interested in building business credit. You can't build business credit on your personal social security number. That's just you building credit personally. If you want to build credit on a business, you need to have a separate EIN number for the business that you can build business credit on. So this idea of trying to use your social security number for this business, probably not the best idea. There's a better way to go about that.
Definitely 110% agreed. Absolutely. You must get the EIN for the business. And developing business credit is one of the more important things we can do with an EIN number. I mean, we have to have money to make money. It's a saying because it's a real thing. And we have to figure out how we're going to fund our business. We can fund it out of pocket with our own personal funds and credit. Not the best idea. Better off to set up business credit. You got to have an EIN for that. Absolutely, Trevor. I could not agree with you more.
Yeah. You know, another theme I think that really presents itself here is this theme of building a team of experts around a new business owner, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm a new business owner, you know, perhaps I'm starting up a bakery, I'm experienced at baking, I'm very good at baking, I want to sell my goods, but I may not be an expert at the business of doing business.
Yep.
You know, the business of knowing how to acquire an EIN number, going through the process, the paperwork associated with maintaining compliance with a corporation or an LLC. But building this team around you of experts like you at Inc. Authority goes a long ways towards allowing an individual to spend their time where it's really important, on their business, rather than on the business of doing business. Tell me a little bit about how Inc. Authority really provides that network, that team structure to help support business owners around the country.
Oh, I think I mentioned earlier, and I'll say it again, this is what sets us apart from the competition completely. The personal touch, the support, the coaching that you get from everyone at this company. from myself as a startup coach, usually the first point of contact for a client, all the way down to our customer support team, our renewals team to get your business renewed each and every year. We're always going to help you maintain compliance, make sure you have a clear understanding of all documentation needed for whatever you're trying to accomplish. Whether you're a truck driver driving truck, baker baking at home, whether you're running a restaurant, a landscaping company, whatever you're doing, you know how to do that. We know how to do all the business related, legal, back-end paperwork, everything needed to maintain your compliance, everything needed to support you and get you in the right direction on anything going on with the company. And again, that's what truly sets us apart, is that support and that coaching. And that's where the 15,000 plus 5-star reviews come from.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Thank you for that. Appreciate you joining us on the program today and bringing us all this information about EINs and about the importance of building a team. And I want to thank all of you who have joined us today also on the program. If you'd like to speak to Ty or anybody else on the staff at Inc. Authority, please give us a call or reach out to us through Inc. Authority's website. We'd love to talk to you and chat with you. As always, we invite you to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss any of the content. Hit the notification bell also so that you make sure that you're notified whenever we have new programs brought to you. And while you're there, go ahead and hit the like button. We sure appreciate it. As always, it's our pleasure to bring you the program. We look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, much success to you. We hope that you have a lot of success growing and scaling your business. We'll see you next time.